love supporting people to ground into ritual in a way that I think a lot of us shy away from in our day-to-day life. And when I create that shift through ritual, through like-minded community, through deepening my practices, through conscious connection and chanting mantra and all these things, I wake up to another level of my power and my purpose, and I just show up more fully in my life.
Welcome back to PCOS Unfiltered. Nourish, heal, thrive. I'm your host, Lindsie, and today's episode is truly one for the soul. I'm joined by the radiant Natanya Ruth, a best-selling author, empowerment coach, ceremonialist, and founder of the Feel Free Institute. Natanya's journey is one of incredible transformation, from a burnt-out classroom teacher to a six-figure soul-led entrepreneur, guiding others to live, lead, and create from purpose. Through her retreats in Bali, Costa Rica, and Sedona, and her signature Soul-Led Entrepreneur Accelerator, she helps women reconnect with their inner wisdom, trust life, and expand into the freedom they've always desired. In this conversation, we explore what it means to outgrow old stories, to find your authentic voice, and to step into your purpose with courage, even when it doesn't fit the traditional mold. Natanya shares her powerful journey of breaking free from societal expectations, creating a business that nourishes both soul and body, and leading others to do the same. As a reminder, the content shared here on PCOS Unfiltered is for informational and educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by the host and guests are not intended to serve as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or treatment plan. The information shared is based on personal experience and expert interviews and is not a substitute for professional medical guidance. Now, grab your tea, take a deep breath, and get ready to be inspired by Natanya's story of alignment, expansion, and liberation. So out of all the things that you do, when do you feel most in your element?
When I'm on retreat, 10,000%. When I take groups into immersive transformational containers out of space and time, like in Bali, Thailand, Costa Rica. I'm doing another retreat in Sedona coming up next year. There's just something about diving in with people, with community who are all in, who are already ready to experience transformation, who are really longing to dive into meditation and silence and stillness and getting more and more in contact with who they are and what's true for them next, right? When so often in our lives, and it just continues to accelerate, right? We're so busy, we're so distracted, there's so many ways to split our energy and our focus all the time, right? And at the end of the day, it's almost like we don't even know how we've used our time because it's just like we're so busy and fragmented. And having a retreat space where it's like, okay, I've signed up and my one job is to receive here. Like, I don't need to take care of anybody else in this space. I don't need to plan or manage where I'm getting food or how I'm getting anywhere. I'm totally into this experience and I just get to receive, right? I signed up to receive, period. And I always say this to my clients because I have noticed actually it can be deeply uncomfortable for people to step out of that routine of caretaking, right? And it's like, guess what, everybody? Everyone here is meeting an appointment with themselves, and it is not your role to fix or manage anyone here.
Yeah.
And, my wish for you during this time that we're together is that you receive, and that if there's anything that's going on in this container that you need a break from, you get to take care of yourself in this space. I say this a lot too, because I have a schedule, I have an itinerary, and I'm always like, look, we have all these things. There's also like lots of things where you can take a rest and take a break. And the number one role for you, aside from receiving, is to be the advocate of your peace. And everything here is ultimately a suggestion. If you don't want to go and do this or X, Y, and Z, or be in this, community activity, do you, boo. Like, I love you. Enjoy. Like, you're here first and foremost for you to honor yourself and to fill up.
Mm.
And it's very fascinating because I think also when people sign up for experiences, they they think, oh my gosh, I'm signed up for this thing and I have to show up to all the things like a student in a classroom. And if I don't show up, I'm going to be judged.
Mm.
And I really, even before we're on retreat, I'll do, Zoom calls where I'm normalizing like, this is 10,000% for you.
Yeah.
And you're in the driver's seat. So
Yeah.
when I'm holding these containers, I just feel so much in a flow state, in this like, co-creative space with
Hmm.
clients who are ready, and that experience of everyone coming together, practicing yoga, going on sacred hikes or ventures. When I was in Bali not that long ago, we did, at the beginning of our retreat, we went to a water temple and did a purification ceremony. And then at the end, we had a session with a water priestess who met with us individually and did another purification ritual with us. And each of those experiences that began and closed our time together were so profound, just
Yeah.
a profound connecting ritual that opened us up to what everything else that we were going to experience and receive on the trip together. And then
Hmm.
closing consciously with another ritual also just kind of anchored us into, where did I start on this experience and what am I leaving here, and what am I carrying with me from this experience back into the real world.
Yeah.
um yeah, I just love all the parts of it. I love supporting people to ground into ritual in a way that I think a lot of us shy away from in our day to day life, and sort
Hmm.
of recognizing, when I take the time to treat myself as the divine being that I am, my the way I experience myself in the world shifts.
Yeah.
And when I create that shift through ritual, through like minded community, through deepening my practices, through, conscious connection and chanting mantra and all these things, I wake up to another level of my power and my purpose. And I just show up more fully in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super important. I mean, yes, this is the day and age we live in with, go, 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 stress, take care of this, doing 10 things at once, technology, like all of it. But I know like even in my program, I talk about like how our ancestors ate, and I mean
Mm,
I
mm.
think what you're doing goes back to all that too. Like we weren't surrounded by all of these stimulating things. And we also didn't have the diseases and the, mental health struggles that we have today either. So taking that time is super, super important for sure.
So true. One
Yeah.
of the things that I often weave into my retreats is like Ayurvedic eating, which is more of a yogic practice, right?
Hmm.
Of more plant based eating, and also just being conscious of what you're eating. So taking the time
Yeah.
to really be with your food, maybe bless it before you put it into your body, like
Hmm.
that which I bless blesses me. And I also offer silent mornings so that, we'll have silent meditation, we'll move into kind of a silent snack, fruit moment, and then silent yoga. And then I'll give everybody the option of continuing silence so that they can really be with their food and be with the environment that they're in, right? Because so
Yeah.
often we're doing so much output, we're not even consciously
Exactly.
consuming anything. And
Yeah.
so it's like, what happens, which I'm sure, like what you're talking about, where back with the ancestors, the food was simple, it was easier for the
Hmm.
body to process, and
Yes.
there were fewer distractions. So it's like, what happens when you actually are with what you're consuming?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find people struggle with that a lot?
Oh
Like
my
with
God.
the like, do you take their phones? Because I mean, I feel like probably most people are like up in the morning, maybe news is on, but they're definitely grabbing their phone like first thing. So I feel like that'd be hard.
Yes. So this is a really good question. Yes, people do struggle with this. And again, before we go on retreat, I always do a number of Zoom calls ahead of time to just kind of
Mhm.
prepare people and also to give them personal agency. Like at the end of the day, I am not here to limit or restrict you.
Mhm.
I'm here to show you what else is possible and another layer of how to be.
Yeah.
And, if you're choosing not to participate in that, I invite you to respect everyone who is, right?
Mhm.
So when we do the silence, I do not take
Mhm.
people's phones away, but I do, normalize like, okay, when we're going into the yoga shala, the yoga platform space to
Mhm.
practice, leave your technology in your room, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I invite you during this time together for you to receive the most from this experience that you invested in. Give yourself permission to unplug.
Mhm.
Maybe choose not to turn the TV on in your room. Like
Yeah.
maybe leave, practice a digital detox. So I'll have
Yeah.
these suggestions. Yeah, and that's why it's all a practice, right? The silence, it's a practice. It's another
Yeah.
yogic practice. It's another way of experiencing connection and union.
Mhm.
And we just try. We just keep practicing.
Yeah. So what is the biggest challenge that you feel like people face when they are trying to implement, personal change? And coaching trainings, at the retreat, all that stuff. And how do you help them navigate that?
Yes. I mean, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier around um, showing up for yourself. I think the biggest challenge is that staying in the momentum of the thing that you said you wanted,
Mm.
right? So it's like, I've had a few mentors along the way who have told me, it's like you can commit to something, right? But the true secret sauce is the recommitment, right? And I'm sure you know about this
Oh
with
yeah.
what you do, right? Because everybody's like, and we're coming, it's like when you're
Yep.
coming into the new year, it's like everybody's like, I'm gonna do this, and then
Yeah.
3 weeks later, it's like, screw it,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all it's all
The
dissolved.
challenge, yeah, is actually like continuing, committing to that, like how you felt in that moment, not just making the change in that moment, but continuing, beyond that for sure.
That's right, yeah, and so that's the thing I think I've seen the most overall is that self abandonment, self sabotage.
Mm.
When I'm in more of a group setting, I'll see clients start caretaking for everyone else.
Mhm.
At times, especially if they're somebody who's in a profession, like I work with a lot of therapists, mental health counselors. I work with yoga teachers who are wanting to take their business to the next level, and so you already have that desire to help other people, but it's like, um, there's this constant reminder, actually this is for you, and let's take a look again at the promises you made to yourself when you entered into this container. So usually when I invite clients into a container with me, it's generally a coaching program, a retreat experience, and a facilitator training. So my program overall is the Soul Led Accelerator, or the Soul Led Entrepreneur Accelerator, if you're wanting to become a soul led business or entrepreneur. Um, and at the beginning of whatever container is that we're starting, there will be a moment where clients get to make vows to themselves, promises like, I came into this container because I see this for myself. And I promise when I'm in this container that I'm going to commit and recommit to what I said I wanted. And I acknowledge that if Natanya, sees that I'm taking myself out of it or veering off course or going into self-abandonment, I give her permission to pause me and remind me about what I said, and where I
Yeah.
said I wanted to go. Um, and I've had another mentor of mine shared with me the 15 commitments of conscious leadership, which is from an institute that's actually a virtual institute. I believe the founder developed this in Bali. And they are basically commitments around ending victimhood in your life,
Mm,
and you know saying that, like, I commit to um, seeing everything that I'm doing through to the end, right? Or I
mm,
commit to seeing everything that comes in my path as an opportunity for growth, not as not playing out that old victim script, for example. And so, one of the things we do near the beginning of our container is make these promises to ourselves and then review these 15 commitments of conscious leadership, um, to anchor everybody into, I'm on a growth journey, and it's gonna test me, and it's going to bring up fear and material, and I can choose to either allow that fear to take me down and create a contraction, or
mm,
I can choose to call in support and recommit to what I said I wanted to do, and anchor into this momentum. So
mm.
I hope I answered your question there. It's like,
Yeah. No, I love that. I think our listeners need to hear that last piece, because I do feel like a lot of women with PCOS, struggle with that, like getting pulled in every which direction, and they need to make the commitment and realize they're doing it for themselves, and what worked for somebody may not work for them. So they have to find that path, but then really commit to following through,
mhm.
on the journey, and realizing, like, I mean, my goal with this, podcast in general is also just to kind of show them there is hope out there. And so it definitely sounds like something like that might might help. So yeah.
Yeah, and so many of us were raised in environments that were more in that codependent dynamic. And so
Hmm.
many of us have learned that it's more important to be liked than to be the advocate of our piece, or to be the
Yeah.
advocate of what we said we wanted. And in
Yeah.
fact, when we say what we want and then we keep going after it, some of us are worried about how we'll be perceived by others,
Hmm.
um, and this is, we're really in an era where it's this opportunity for us to really stand by what we say we want, and to call in the support to help us follow through.
Yeah.
The truth is, like, I did not get to where I am, where I've now been working for myself for a decade, and I've wanted to quit so many times, so many times. And but I did not get here without support, without
Yeah.
mentorship, without acknowledging that who I am and what I want
Yeah.
matters, and that I need to invest in coaches and mentors to support me to see the bigger picture and
Hmm.
to stay committed to my path.
Yeah.
And that alone was like massive for me, because it certainly was a period where I was like, I can just figure this out by myself. And I was and I was like running my gears and kind of going nowhere, and then just had to have that,
Yeah.
you know what, it it matters what I'm called to do, and it doesn't matter how people perceive me, because you're not going to please everybody.
No. Mm-mm.
And you may as well please yourself.
hmm Yeah. And it's not, I mean, like you're saying, you wanted to quit. I mean, so whether it's a personal healing journey, whether it's, your business journey, I mean, it's not easy. It's not linear. There's gonna be ups and downs like all over the place. Some
Yes.
severe, some, yeah. And so, yeah, you do need that support. You need the right people in your corner and all the things to go along with that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we, during this time on the planet, we get to be the pioneers, right? Like we were already talking earlier, in the previous generation, it was like, these are your choices for your career, right? Nurse, teacher, lawyer, doctor, whatever it is.
hmm
And now we're pioneers. We're creatives, right? We're
Yeah.
creating our path. We're creating our modality of service. We're creating the way that we sustain ourselves and other people.
hmm
And we're really on the front lines, like you said, of being, on that nonlinear path outside of the lines,
Yeah.
and in some ways making it up as we go along.
hmm
And truly, yeah, sisterhood, community, mentorship, all of these things are so essential to stay that course.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's next for you? I think you have a few retreats already scheduled for next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell us how people can connect with you and all the things.
absolutely. Yes. So I've got a 300-hour yoga teacher training coming up in the new year. And this is a training that's actually for anyone, even if you're not yet certified in your 200-hour. Every part of this training is a module. So if you're somebody who's wanting to facilitate women's circles, if you're someone who wants to facilitate breath work, if you're somebody who is curious about Ayurveda and how to create Ayurvedic meals and how to live an Ayurvedic lifestyle that's plant-based, and in ritual, this training is one that you can do as a full training that goes over 6 months, or you can just drop in for specific modules that are
Oh, cool.
around your interest level. So
hmm
I'm launching that in February 2026, and that will be in person and also virtual. Um, I'm also offering two retreats coming up in 2026: Costa Rica, April 18th through the 26th, 2026. And this will be my ninth year doing this trip in
Wow.
Uvita. We go to a beautiful boutique hotel that's in the rainforest overlooking protected ocean. And we go on amazing excursions to see sloths and monkeys
Oh
and
my gosh.
snorkeling and waterfalls and beaches. And then we also do a lot of amazing yoga, meditation, transformational practices. And the food is amazing. Costa Rican coffee, amazing. Um, and yeah, and it's we do some salsa dancing. Like it's just a lot of
That's
fun,
very
and
cool.
it's a beautiful mix of spirituality and adventure.
hmm
um, and then I'm also hosting a retreat in Sedona in November 2026. That will be the 8th through the 13th in Sedona, and we'll be staying in
Nice.
two adjacent villas that are right at the edge of the protected land where the vortexes are. So we'll be again doing yoga and meditation, but also a lot of hiking and practice into the vortexes in the Red Rocks there. Doing a pink Jeep tour together where we get to like really go into the land and experience everything.
Yeah.
um, and we're also bringing in a award-winning private chef who will be doing like an Ayurvedic meals for
Wow.
us. So it's going to be amazing. It's actually And right now, Costa Rica has 2 single rooms left. And the Sedona trip is already half full. So I
Wow.
really encourage everyone to join me. And I'm offering everyone who's listening $300 off either of these trips with a
Nice.
promo code Feel Free Day. Um,
Okay.
yeah, you can drop that into the
I'll drop
notes.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I am finishing my audiobook for my best-selling book, Feel Free, Lessons of a Soul-Led
Yay.
Life. So my book came out summer 2024. And I've been touring it a bit locally, taking it to libraries, bookstores. I also create transformational events with the book because it has every chapter at the end has a practice or a journaling prompt. For the readers, there's actually a free downloadable playbook that comes with this. So now I'm going to be launching the audiobook. Everything takes a little time sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And so but I've got all the tech lined up. So I'm doing that in so I'll be launching the audiobook in the new year. I'm really excited. And then I'll be looking to actually do a more national book tour, going more to wellness spaces, festivals on the East Coast and on the West Coast. So I'm really excited
Wow.
about sharing that.
Yeah.
And then I always have openings available in my Soul Led Entrepreneur Accelerator program, where you receive empowerment coaching, business coaching, and mentorship if you're looking to become an entrepreneur and follow your soul to create your business. And then you get to come on retreat with me as part of this experience, and you get a facilitator training either to become a certified yoga instructor, or if you are a wellness professional who wants to learn how to host and sell and organize retreats, events, workshops, etc. I'll be sharing all of the tools and resources for that.
That's awesome. Love it. Yes, and I will, of course, drop all the things in the notes as well for the show, so you can click on links and everything there. Um, but I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. This was amazing. I loved, hearing your story, and yeah, it's been amazing chatting with you. So I really, really appreciate it.
Likewise, Lindsay, it's such a treat to connect. And yeah, just really appreciate you and the resonance we have with our stories as well.
Mhm. For sure.
Thank you
Thank
for creating the space to share.
What a beautiful and empowering conversation with Natanya Ruth. I know you felt that energy shift just listening to her. Her story is such a powerful reminder that it's never too late to rewrite your path and live a soul-led life. If you're ready to dive deeper into her world, you can find details about her upcoming retreats in Costa Rica and Sedona, her soul-led entrepreneur accelerator, and her best-selling book, Feel Free, Lessons of a Soul-Led Life, in the show notes below. Be sure to follow her with the links in the show notes as well to learn more about her programs, retreats, and upcoming audiobook launch. And if you join one of her retreats, don't forget to use the promo code FEELFREEDAY in all caps for $300 off your experience. Thank you so much for tuning in. If today's conversation resonated with you, please share it with a friend who could use this reminder to trust their path and follow what lights them up. Until next time, keep nourishing your body, healing your mind, and thriving beyond the diagnosis.